Alright guys, so in this part we're going to be taking care of the vent areas you see in here as in the reference image. So the front and the back, we're going to be doing both of them in this video. So without much time wasted, let's just take the rear bumper. Let's go over into edit mode real quick. So let me just zoom into this area. We're going to take this entire edge here, okay, the one that forms that whole area. We're going to press Shift and D to duplicate it, right click to keep it in place, and press P and select selection to separate the selection. Now we're going to take that new piece, and obviously it follows this area already, so we don't have to do anything about that side. But for now, I'm just going to dissolve this vertex here, and I'm going to dissolve the one here as well. Alright, now I'm going to take these two, and let's press F on both of them. So we're going to add in about, I'm not so sure, let's add in about 5 vertices in the middle here, like this. And let's get over to the top view. And I'm not sure if this is going to be visible, but I feel like it will be. Yeah, right there. So we're just going to align this onto the blueprint line from the top view. First of all, make sure you change this to global. All right, I think it was a normal. So change it to global and let's move it in the y-axis. All right, so once we're done this, what we're going to have, let's get onto the side view. And let's see what we have here as well. So as you can see, it's not really straight from this side, as you can see. So what we can do is to try to keep it straight. So I'm just going to move it in the z-axis onto the blueprint line, each and every single one of them, just to match with the blueprint line as much as possible. Alright, so now let's get onto the back view, and let's hold on Control and press numpad 1 to get in the back view, and let's take a look at this. Alright, it's looking good. So first of all, I'm just going to get rid of everything else. So I'm just going to take these two, press Control and I, and hide everything else. So I just have these two over here. So I'm going to get to the back view, go into edit mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to press F just to fill in the faces. I'm going to press I to inset the faces all the way to about the size it is. I think that's about here. As you can see, it's following the blueprint line very nicely, and we're going to delete the rest of the faces. Alright, so around this area, we're going to fix that real quick. We don't want it to be wrapping around this area. We want it to actually end in that area. So I'm going to time lapse through making that site, but before we proceed, let me just disable this subdivision, so I mean the Solidify modifier. Let me get to the back view and let's do this real quick. Alright, so now we can take these four and press F, and we can get onto the side and do the same thing here. Now let's take that 4 as well, excluding that one, and let's press F just to make that area quad. Alright, so this is what we have, looking nice, looking good. So now we're going to take the whole thing, and we're going to extrude it. Oh, first off, let's make sure, yeah, so this area right here, let me just take a look at this area much more. And I'm going to take that whole thing, let me just move it in the y-axis a bit to about there, just to flatten it out a bit more, and I think that's good. I don't think we have anything else to worry about. Yeah, so we're just going to take the whole thing and let's extrude it in the y-axis. So just press Y twice and let's just extrude it in the y-axis all the way to, I'm thinking somewhere here, and let's delete those faces on the inside. Now let's take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals, and this is what we have for starters. And let me just go back in here, and I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here to add in another one. Press E, align it with the outside and pull it to some point there, like that. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scale this in a bit. Okay, so let me just scale it in. Let me get to the back view, and I'm going to scale it in a bit, like let me just scale it in some more, so to some point like that. And I'm going to scale it in the z-axis as well to some point like that. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. You can see it right here. So that's what I'm trying to achieve, and yeah, that is looking good. So we can just select object now and select shade smooth just to shade the surfaces smooth. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding in supporting edge loops. So I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here. Let's begin in this area. I'm going to press E to align with the one on the right and pull it close like that. And I'm going to add one more on this side, E, and then F, pull it close like that. Let's add another one here, press E, pull it close like that. And for this area, what we can do is we can take that whole faces that surrounds it. Okay, so we can take it from here. So just right click on this area, hold down Control and right click on this area. It should select to that extent, and then let's get onto the side, hold down Control, right click on that area to select it, or whatever your selection button is, and hold down Control again, select that, and hold on Control and select this. That should select the whole thing for you. And now all we can do is to just press I to insert this. I'm going to insert it to some point like that. Should be good. So just a little bit, like that. Alright, very nice. So I think that should be looking good. Now we're going to press Ctrl and R through here, press E, align it with the right, and pull it close like that. And that should do it very nicely for that area. So what we can do next is the other stuff that we have in the middle here. So this one and that one right there. So let me just get to the back view, and I'm going to take this vertices here, because let me just get into wireframe. And I think it's all the way to the inside to this point right here. It probably doesn't follow the blueprint line, but you know what, let's just do it and then you'll get it. So let me just recalculate the normals, which I think it is already accurate. So let's get onto the back view, and I'm going to go into wireframe. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take this vertex here, that's this one right here, and then that one. I'm going to press Shift and D to duplicate it. Let me just press B to separate the selection. Now let's take that one, and I'm going to slide it in to about there. So to about the thickness of the whole thing. I'm going to presume, since I'm offsetting from the blueprint a bit, I'm just going to compensate for that on the right hand side by pulling it somewhere there, like that. Alright, so I'm just going to get to the top here too, and let me just take 1 and 2. Let me press Shift and D to duplicate that. Press P to separate the selection, and we can take that one as well. And let's just get to the back view, and I'm going to slide that also to here, then slide this back in to offset it a bit to about there. Alright, now we can take those two, that's the second one right here, and then press Ctrl J to join those two, and now we have this 4 vertices. So let me get onto the back view, and I'm going to press F to fill in that vertices. And I'm not so sure, but let me just take this and then slide it. Let me just press G twice, press C to constrain it, and let's just slide it out just a bit more like that. And I think that should be good. Alright, so what we're going to do now is to press Ctrl and R through here to add in one more in the middle. So Ctrl and R through here, through there. I'm going to click in there and slide it a bit to the left to about a point like that. Alright, very nice. So what we can do now is, let me just take the whole thing, alright? I'm going to extrude it in the y-axis all the way to the inside, like that. So let me just pull it in some more. So to a point like that, and let me just press X and delete the faces. So this is what we have so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press, let me get to the back view. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here. Let's go to Edge Select Mode, Ctrl and R, and I'm going to add in about, let's add in about, should we say 10? Yeah, so let's add in about 10 of them, like that. Left click and then right click to keep it in place. Let's deselect the one on the top and the one on the bottom and dissolve the rest of the edges. Alright, so now we're going to take these faces, these two faces here, and we're going to pull it in the y-axis. We're just going to pull it out like that to about, I'm not sure, but I think somewhere there should be good. Alright, not bad. And I can take this edge right here, this one, and I can pull it in the y-axis to the inside a bit. So let's just pull it in some more. So let's say to some point there should be good, I think. And let's try and take these two vertices here as well. Let's pull them in as well. So I'm going to pull them in the y-axis all the way to the inside as well, just a bit like that. Now let's take the whole thing. Okay, I think we have faces on the top, so let's take all of those faces except for these two vertices, and let's just delete those faces and slide this edge here all the way to the top. Okay, just so it intersects with the mesh on the top like that. I'm going to do the same thing down here, so we'll take all of those faces, delete the faces, and slide it down into the mesh. Alright, there we go, that's the first one. So I'm just going to take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals, and let's select Object and select Shade Smooth. And now we can go ahead and then add in supporting edge loops. Alright, so this is what we'll have once we do that, and as you can see, that is looking good. So let's go on to the next side. We're going to add one more in this area. So we can just take all of this, press Shift and D, and move it in the x-axis to about there, like that. And I'm just going to share this in the x-axis a bit to kind of match that angle a bit more, just like that. Alright, very nice. So we can just pull this in the y-axis to about some point there. I think should be good. Yeah, I think that should be good. And I'm just going to take all of these and pull it in the y-axis just so it matches with the edge we have over here. So I'm just going to pull it in the y-axis to somewhere there. Let me just take this, dissolve that edge, take that, dissolve that edge. And I'm going to take this and pull it in the y-axis as well, just a bit. Like, not too far out, just a bit. So I'm just going to pull it out to some point there. I think it should be good. Alright, so now let's just dissolve this edge here and add it back in. So E, and then pull it close like that. We're going to support the rest on the top as well. Alright, so this is what we have so far. As you can see, that is looking really good. So now we can go ahead and then start making the grill in here as well. So let me just go over into edit mode of this, and I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, move it to a point. Let me just press E and move it to some point like that. Should be good. And I'm going to take these two, press Shift and D to duplicate it, and press P to separate the selection. Now we can delete that extra edge we added in. We can dissolve it. Now let's get out of edit mode and take that new mesh. And we can just take that whole thing. First off, let me take this vertex here, or the edge at the back, and delete it. Now let's take this one and press F. And I'm just going to press I to insert it in just a little bit like that. And I'm going to delete the faces and take the whole thing and extrude it in the y-axis all the way to there. Let me just delete the faces, take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals, and that's looking really good. So I'm just going to select object and select shade smooth like that. Now we can go ahead and then adding supporting edge loops, press E, pull it close like that, and maybe we can add one more down here as well, even though it's not visible. So let's add one more down there, press E and then F. Okay, so close to that area like that. Alright, very nice. So I think that is coming out great. Now the final thing we're going to do, as I said, we're going to be using a texture map on the grill, so we're not going to actually make the whole grill. What we're going to do is we're just going to take this one right here, press E, and pull it close to somewhere, I don't know, say somewhere pretty close to the edge. So we could just take this one and we could just press Shift and D to duplicate it, right click to keep it in place, and we could just press something like F, and let's just press Control T or Alt and T. No, Control T. You could press Alt and J to add in the necessary parts we need. Alright, so now we can just select object and select shade smooth again, just to smoothing that surface. And as you can see, that is looking really good for the rear vent. So let's press Alt and H to bring everything back, and let's see what this looks like. Alright, not bad. So you can see that came out really good, and it looks really great. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing here in the front view, but I'm just going to time lapse through this and speak in only the necessary areas where I think I just have to let you guys know about certain things. So I'm just going to time lapse through this really, but if there's anything I feel like you wouldn't know or I have to say, then I will say to you guys to also do the same. So let's get started on this. Alright, so right in this area, what we're going to do is to extrude this in the y-axis. So just press Y twice. Extrude it just a little bit like that. Okay, not all the way inside, just a little bit like that for now. I want to extrude it one more time, and this time we're going to extrude it all the way to the inside, or how far inside we want to go. I want to press X and delete the faces on the inside. Alright, now let's take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take all of these vertices here. Alright, we're going to delete those vertices. So if you take a look over here, you can see it kind of dips in a bit. You can see right here, it kind of dips in a bit before creating that edge on top. That's why I did that. So we're going to take these two vertices here and press F all the way to the other side, just so we get that nice looking effect that we have down here also up there like that. Alright, very nice. Now the final thing we can do is now this one doesn't actually pulling like the back here does, so we're just going to leave it like that, but I just want to take the ones on the back here and I want to scale it in just to kind of give it that bevel type thing, or to kind of give it a bit of a slant. So you can see what's flat right now, and I can pull it in like that just to make it look like that. You can see right here, this is the blueprint line for that. So we're just going to try to match that. So I'm just going to press G and move this here. Let me just scale it down some more. I'm going to move that there, and I'm going to take this whole thing that's from here all the way to here and then to back there, and I'm going to make this the active element. Let's change the pivoting point to active element, and I'm going to press S and then X and scale this in to about there, and I'm pretty sure that should be good, or maybe it's too much. Let me just scale it in the x-axis just a bit more out. So I'm not going to follow the blueprint line this time. I'm just going to scale it out a bit like that, and just scale it out a bit more, so something like that. Alright, not bad. Hopefully you also got the same results. And let me just take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals again. And okay, I think it looks kind of flat with that area, I think, but we can still keep it. It kind of looks good either ways. If you take a look at the front view, it looks like it's not pulling out, but if you come out of the view, it does look like it's pulling out, and I think it's because it's more in the y-axis in the front view, but when you view it here, it kind of looks like it's not. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I'd say it's generally up to you and how you want it to look. I feel like, you know what, I'm going to try to match the blueprint line a bit. So let me just scale it in the x-axis. So I'm just going to pull it to some point there, just so I can see what that looks like. It's not that much of a difference though, but yeah, I'm going to keep it as it is in the blueprint. And let me just take these ones as well. So that is that whole edge as well over here, this whole thing, and I want to make this the active element as well. And let me just get to the back view or the front view, and let me just scale it in the x-axis just a bit, just to kind of follow that area very smoothly and nicely like that. Alright, not bad. So I think that is looking good. That is looking good. Alright, now let's take the whole thing, select object and select shade smooth, and there we go. Now we can go ahead and start adding in supporting edge loops. We're going to start with this area. I'm going to press Ctrl and R, press E, and pull it close like that. So I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here as well, press E and pull it close like that, and I'm going to add one in here as well, press E and pull it close like that. Let's see how we can take care of this area. Let me just pull this back a bit. Okay, I'm going to pull it back in the y-axis a bit because I think it's pulling out too much. And I'm not so sure about this area right here, because I don't want it going all the way down. I want to end it somewhere around this area. You know, let me just hide the front bumper, so we just have this, and we can see what we can do with this much better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the knife tool and then cut it from here to there and then to here. What is that extra cut it's making there? Let me try that again. Yeah, from here to there. Let me confirm that for now, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So knife it from here to there and then to up here. Let's confirm that, and let's dissolve the edge, the extra edge now below. So dissolve edges. Alright, very nice. Now I can just press Ctrl and R through here, press E and then F, align it with the back and pull it close like that. And I can take these two and press J. Oh my god, this baby. And we can take these two as well and press J to join them. Alright, so that's a good start so far. What we're going to do now is, let me just take these faces in the middle now. So from here all the way to there and then to there. So just remember to hold down Control while selecting them, just to be able to select them all. And I think I'm going to select all of these as well. I just want to select them all. So the one up here, just select them all with Control and right click. I'm going to select all of these, all of that, and all the way to the top here. Alright, so what we're going to do is to press, oh, we didn't select this one, so make sure you select that one as well. I think we didn't select this one as well. So yeah, we're going to press I to insert this just a bit. like that. I don't know how that is going to help that area, but it doesn't look good. So let's deselect the ones on the back. So deselect these and deselect those ones as well. Alright, now let's try again and see what this looks like. So I to insert. Okay, that's too much. So just a little bit like that. Let's take a look what that looks like. Okay, not bad, but we just have to fix this area a bit. So let me just zoom into that area. Let's fix it a bit. So I'm just going to press G twice and then C and pull this out to somewhere there, I guess, maybe. Oh, okay, I see why this is happening. So let's just slide it close to that area. It's not going to cause any issues. So just going to keep it there like that. Let's take a look at this area as well. Alright, it's not bad, doesn't have any issues. And yeah, that could pretty much do it for that whole piece. Alright, now let's press Alt and H to bring everything back and let's see what we have. Okay, not bad, looking good. Alright, now we can go ahead and create those splitters in the middle as well. So let me get to the front view. And let me just take 1 and 2, press Ctrl and I, and then hide it. Now let me just get to the front view and let's do this. Alright, so as you can see, this is what we're going to have once we're done. And yeah, so all that we have to do in this area now is to adding this circular button over here, but I'm just going to leave that up to you guys to do on your own. I just want us to do one more thing before we actually end this video, and that is to go up here. I'm just going to fill this area real quick for the windshield area. So I want to take all of this edge, press Shift and D, and press B to separate the selection. And now I'm going to take that edge we just separated, yeah, this one right here. Now we're going to get to the side view. Okay, so let's just open up a reference image that kind of shows us what that area looks like. So I'm not sure if we do have one. Okay, we don't have one, but I think I know how that area looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude it down a bit, just a bit like that. And I'm basically going to extrude it up again. So let me get to the side view and extrude it up all the way to somewhere there, like that. Okay, so we just have to shape it to kind of fall in that area a bit more. Let me just move it in the y-axis a bit like that, and pull it down in the z-axis a bit like that. And I'm going to take this, pull it down some more, and just slide this down some more. And finally I'm going to take that and slide it down to there. Alright, not bad, not bad. Alright, so now let's select that object and select shade smooth. Let's take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. And let's just enable inside, or you could just press Control Shift and is it Control Shift and N? Yeah, to invert the normals. There we go. Alright, looking good. Looking good. Though I think I want to take this one and pull it in some more. So let me just press G twice, slide it up a bit, and press C and pull it down even more to about there. Alright, not bad. I'm just going to press Ctrl B to kind of bevel this. I'm going to add in 3 extra vertices like that. And let's just keep it that way. Alright, very nice. So that fills out that area. But for this piece here, I think we didn't add in a solidify modifier. So let's do that right now. But first, let's apply the shrink wrap modifier. Remove the subdivision surface and add in a solidify modifier. Now let's press Ctrl A and apply the rotation and scale. And let's drop this down to 0.005. Okay, we don't want it too big. So something like that. And let's add in the supporting edge loops real quick, just to contain the solidify modifier. Alright then, so there we go. So that'll pretty much do it for this part. As you can see, all that we have left now is the headlights and the tail light, and that will pretty much keep it, bring it closer to being complete. All that would have to do then is to create the windshield wipers, which, and the side mirrors right here, which I'm going to leave up to you guys to do on your own, but I might do it as well. So I haven't decided yet, but if you want to go ahead and do it on your own, you can go ahead and do that, but I might make a tutorial for that, is what I mean. And also the rim, and that'll pretty much bring us close to the end of the course, which didn't take much parts. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it on this area right here, and yeah, pretty much see you guys in the next video.